M54 B22 oil leaks, take 16. Vanos system is common in or around these little washers here, and again it's identical just on the rear there, as you can see as it goes in. You've got your oil filter housing with your oil filter obviously inside, 25 Newton meters as it says on the label. So basically the filter housing, this whole thing goes all the way down the side and it's attached, this is attached to it, so you need to remove the alternator. I think it's 8 bolts in total. This is the back here, and you can see the sealing surface, if I can get in there, is just behind that to the front of the engine. So you'll get visible oil in and around these things here. As you can see, I've cleaned up as much as I can when I've replaced mine before. I'm not going to jet wash the engine, I can't be bothered. So basically your CCV system, which would sit in here, obviously is a common cause of problems, which we'll touch on in a minute. Oil pan gasket goes all around the bottom of the engine. So if you are looking for leaks and you can't find anything above the engine, highly likely that your gasket, especially in around 100,000 miles, will need replacing. If you do take oil level check, whatever you want to call it, make sure you check the O-ring here. As I pulled mine out, it was stuck. It was that dry and hard. I've had to break it to get it out, which is there, as you can see, solid. So I've ordered a new one of them. Next, rear main seal, not very common unless it's been touched or whatever recently. However, I've had mine out, so I've replaced it, and I've replaced it incorrectly. I basically put it on without the tool, and I used my finger to run on the inside of the Teflon, the rear part of the seal, and actually what's happened now is the grease and grime on my hands will touch that and it'll not make a perfect seal. So I've ordered a new one with the correct installation tool. It's the same part that fits Land Rover and a few others, so do shop around for your BMW part and you'll probably find one for around about £20. Last but not least, and probably the most common, is your valve cover. So you can see here, especially at the back of the engine, I had a massive leak at the back here and I constantly got the oil warning light up. Seeing I had low oil, I was checking my oil, it wasn't that bad, but actually it was leaking down the back here, and you can see it all over the back, everywhere, and it was, my cabin was actually quite smelly. I couldn't really tell initially. So you'll see it all the way around anyway, but mostly towards the rear where the headers are here. So generally these bits here get the hottest, so this gets the hottest here, and that's where your leaks potential. Right, so moving on to the CCV then. So obviously one connection is at the top here, and that is it. It would connect, goes down, and there's your CCV, alright. Then the other part of the connection of the CCV is actually still attached. So I've got this pipe which goes into the top of the intake, and I've got the other side for the other three is here, so it goes in, along, and into this bit, and then it's got the hole at the end where I've cut it off and I've put some yellow tape. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3/8 hose or bigger. Haven't really had a look yet to see what size I need. I'm going to run that down the bottom. And again with this one I'm going to run another hose, so I've got 2 separate hoses now, theoretically, sticking at the bottom, and they will go to my catch can, which will be a vacuum style. So the vacuum will be pulled from the intake, which will then suck the vacuum from the top of your valve cover, because this is where it builds up. However, if you're unsure and you don't want to spend time doing this, I would recommend doing this though. As you can see, look at that. And exactly this, it's even worse inside there. So I'm doing the whole lot in a one now. Is attach a hose to here. This is your first method. Leave the rest. You shouldn't get a vacuum leak as such if you just remove that bit, but be careful. Basically run a hose down to the back of the engine. This will allow you to test it without actually putting that oil back in. So basically the problem with the CCV is it comes in through here, down to your CCV valve, which is here, and there's 2 rubber diaphragms, oh sorry, 1 rubber diaphragm in there, and it sucks it in, and as you can see there, look at that, and I've cleaned that by the way, and there's the bit that got this bit here, goes all the way back to the dipstick here, and if you turn the dipstick over you'll see you've got say 8mm hole, and then just to the side of that there's another little hole which is expected for this stuff to go all the way back in, but it just blocks up, and I've had to blow that through with compressed air, clean it out, and I've just blocked it up with a bit of hose, RTV and a bolt for now, just because I'm waiting for my new parts to arrive and I didn't want anything else to go in. I think that's pretty much it, but it's a pretty straightforward job, to be honest. And there's the car there, hopefully get it back in this weekend.